So today, two things are happening. One, I'm staying in a woodland I've never stayed in before. And the next thing that's happening is an open fire and cooking a little chicken, a poussin, on a spit. Let's see how this goes. A few days ago, I put a post out on Facebook asking if anyone had any woodland they'd be willing to let me use. Luckily, someone got back to me, and that's where I am today, and that's why you'll see me having an open fire. An open fire isn't something I would recommend for people to do if you're wild camping on land that you're not familiar with or you don't have the landowner's permission. But first things first, I'm going to need a fire, and I think it's better to do that now whilst I have the light, whilst I have the ability to find wood, and before I get on with anything else. So I'm going to clear an area and prep for a little fire. Okay, so you can see here, ground's a bit damp, so I'm literally just going to make a little base. It might look nice out here, but it's pretty cold and pretty damp. You can see already I've prepped, so just some twigs and sticks, dry, dead standing, got a bit of snap to them, working my way from these lower thin ones, and I'll build my way up to when those are burning. And once I've got that going with a nice bit of ember, and I'll just use the dead wood laying around, and then I'm going to start working on making the spit and how we're going to cook this poussin. So I've got my little base. We're going to go pretty old school. In here I've got a ferrocerium rod, and as you can see, some dried out birch bark. I'm just going to make some shavings on this birch here, on this bark. It's been a while, maybe I'm not doing the best job. Hopefully that should catch a little spark. Okay, she started to get that. Try and get one of these catching as well. Okay, now that we've got that going, we'll move on to some of these smaller sticks. And while now she seems to be taking okay, we've done all right there. We're just going to pop some others on the top. Let's really get this going. So I'm happy enough. This is going to be a really good base to the fire. It's off the cold, damp ground. We've got some nice, dry, dead standing that is not rotten, chopped up and on there. So I'll just make sure that I'm picking up bits of wood, and then I can burn through some of the more rubbishy wood that's just laying around in the woodland. So not having to venture more than 20 yards, I've got 3 sticks I'm interested in. This one with a V in the end, and that, nice and simple, is going to be a rest for my spit. And this one's a little bit thicker, and all I'm going to do in this one is cut a square in the end. I'll show you what I mean, and then I'm going to make this end of the spit a square, so it's able to nicely slot in, and then I can rotate it 90 degrees when I want. First things first, I seem fairly happy with that stick. There's no need to go taking anything off of it. All I'm going to do is turn the end, work my way around, and get that into a spike. This tree is dead. Okay, we've fashioned that into some sort of spikes. That's nice and easily going to go in the ground now. All I'm going to do now is trim down on this and then work down this stick, taking off all the bacteria and all of this outer layer. Nice and simple. And with this one, like I said, this is a little bit more complicated, but I'm going to use my little saw here, not how I'm doing now with my hand there. I'm going to find some good support. I'm going to cut 3 grooves in that and make a nice notch. So I'll get that done. So you can see where I've cut my 3 little grooves in this piece of wood just here. I'm going to use my knife, channel that out and make that a nice square. But what I'm going to do for the minute is take my knife and just run down the edge here and just turn this into a bacteria-free spit. So that didn't take long at all. Literally just getting your bushcraft knife or whatever knife you've got and getting rid of those little slits that you cut out, and you have made that square shape in the end of your stick. It's not pretty, it's not perfect, but it's going to serve a purpose. So let me show you in more detail what we've got now. So this is our stick with our 90-degree angles cut out of it, and as you can see on this end, I've just trimmed that down with my knife into a square. Nice and simple. That will now, if I can show you, sit in there, and then I can't turn it. So we have now made a spit that we can rotate and control it from sliding around everywhere. Okay, now once I've bashed these in the ground, here you can see it wasn't too hard, wasn't too strenuous. There's our 2 ends of our spit, and you can see that nice square just slots nicely in there. Pop that out, turn that 90 degrees, and we are going to be good for cooking our little poussin, as long as the fire is the right height. We're going to need to make a split in this wood so we're able to put a little stick through, and that stick is just going to stop the chicken or whatever you're cooking spinning round. There we go. So that split there is going to enable us to poke a stick through the poussin, through that, out the other side, and then when we turn it, the chicken's not going to spin around the stick, if that makes sense. So I'm hoping this will go nice and simple. Unfortunately, the only little poussin I could get was a spatchcock, but that's fine. We'll just wrap that round. We've just got a little bit of green wood, taken the bark off, the bacteria, and then made a little point on it. So that's going to go through and shove through our spit, probably with a little bit of pressure. And I brought some string along with me. So let's grab my knife. All right, I can see that that is going to work. We are really going to be careful of our cross-contamination. Try to make this chicken touch as little as possible. And here we can see this tiny little bird, perfect. And we are literally going to pop her over the spit, like so. But we are going to push this little bit of green wood through. Push it through the bird, then through the stick. Okay, then I'm going to go through the bird again. Try to go through like so. I'm going to truss her up there. First thing I'm going to tie up is going to be the legs. I'm going to put some string around the wings there. There we go. As you can see, that is going to turn without an issue. Let's pop her over the fire. So let's head on over to our fire, pop our end in there, and then we can drop in our little square, push that in, and you can see that is going to stay fixed on that angle. But I am going to have to build this fire up. It's always better to make these too high, because I can always take a little bit off of these and lower her down. But what I'm going to do first actually is to try and build up the fire. But I did need to get the poussin, the little chicken, closer to the fire. So I've just literally grabbed a bit of paracord and tied multiple loops on it. Try to keep it to the back, and then if I want to higher or lower the height, I can just change the loops, put it on high temperature, low temperature at the top here. I've never seen that done before, but it works pretty well. At home, I just took 2 sweet potatoes, washed them, and stuck them in tin foil. So I'm just going to leave these on the coals over here. Move that out of the way. Leave them over there. This chair is absolutely mint, and that is my timer to turn the chicken. One Tigress, and I'm a fan of the brand, do this. However, the feet are rubbish. If you do buy one, I'd get one of those, get some of them feet that stop it going into the ground. Nice. I'll put a link in the description for that one. As you can see, I turned my back for 2 seconds and I burnt the legs on my Poussin. It is chilling down just a little bit. Not my legs. The light is going down, but as you can see, if you can see, with my little chicken, I had a couple of mushrooms. I've got the Rabascent 900. It just needs to puff out because I've just got it out. As you can see, there's the Kilos gear. Elite, large. I'm looking forward to getting my head down. Our Poussin is cooking away. Down here, we've got the sweet potato that have been there for about 3 hours. So they're gonna be well and truly cooked. Well, if you are gonna go out and cook like this, make sure the temperature's good and you want to be above 75. She is. Pull that stick out. Wow. That is well done. Let's see how soft that jacket potato is. You can see that sweet potato and that chicken. Poussin, absolutely stunning. Don't go anywhere just yet. I'm gonna go to sleep, wake up in the morning, having tested the new Kilos gear mat, put on breakfast. And if you have got this far, don't forget, please hit the subscribe, it's free. Currently, 71% of the people that watch my videos aren't subscribed. So if you're one of them, help me out. So if you want to support the channel and get exclusive emojis or early access to videos, head on over and become a member of the channel.
Good morning, world, and this is the view from the tent this morning.
Last night was a great camp. What a lovely woodland. I'm super lucky to be able to use it. You can see at the minute I've just got the remnants of a little fire going just to boil up some water and get one of the Wayfarers all day breakfast things on the go. And then after that, most importantly, I need to leave absolutely no trace. Yes, I've had a fire. Yes, I've got the landowner's permission, but I guess it's all about respect. And being lucky enough to be here last night, this place has got to look mint. So that's me done, all wrapped up, and I'm quite happy. I was camped down there. You can see the tent where I was cooking is going to cool down. So I'm going to hang around here for the next half an hour just to make sure that ground cools down. Thanks for watching another one of my videos, or if this is the first time seeing me, do us a favour and subscribe.